Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, July 13th. It's my brother's birthday, so I need to remember to get a hold of him later on today. That's just a note to myself. Not that I ever go back and listen to this. So, we have a new head of household. We had our eviction. Swaggy did get evicted. The voting was 8-4. I thought it was going to be 8-4, I think. I thought maybe even 9-3, but I said 8-4, 9-3. But I really expected Haley was going to vote to evict Swaggy, and she didn't. And I was really expecting. I thought it was going to. Sorry, I thought it was going to be 9-3 because I thought. Who did I think? Bailey, Fessy, and I think I thought Haley would vote to keep Swaggy. I think those. No, I did Bailey. Yeah, Bailey, Fessy, and I think Haley. I thought. I don't know. I just didn't expect. I thought that Scottie was going to vote to evict Swaggy, and he did. But a lot of people were surprised, and I guess part of it was because he was wearing the Swaggy T-shirt and stuff. But the whole post eviction stuff is circling around the fact that Swaggy. Or that Scottie voted to evict Swaggy, and of course there's a running joke made by a couple of different people that the person who throws the weird vote wins head of household, because Caitlyn, of course, threw the off vote to get Steve out first week, and then she went head of household, and now Scottie kind of did the same thing, and now he got head of household. So Scottie's head of household. I watched more feeds after the eviction than I have really probably since the opening night. I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and watch this stuff and take really detailed notes. In my head, I could talk for the next 2 hours about the 3.5, 4 hours of TV that I watched last night, or live feeds that I watched last night. Probably 3 hours. I could talk 2 hours about the 3 hours of and I won't do that because I don't have time. And we'll talk about it on tomorrow's Big Brother Gossip Show. But even then, we're not going to be able to cover everything that I just watched last night. And my head is spinning, and I have different trains of thought. Do I want to talk about how I think Tyler is on the verge of running this game? Do I want to talk about all the stuff that went on? There's so many different things. So apologies for no outline here in front of me and just talking off the top of my head. I'm not going to talk about all of it. And, I guess maybe you just tune in to tomorrow's show to see what I didn't cover tonight, or I didn't cover today then. All right. So, the first hour after the feeds came back, and they came back almost immediately, was so much scrambling about who threw the... Because, now remember, Swaggy was voted out 8-4. So, it wasn't even a tie. It wasn't even close to a tie. And yet, the house was all in a panic because they were expecting it to be 7-5 at worst. And yet it was 8-4. So that meant that somebody didn't vote for Swaggy that they thought was going to vote for Swaggy. And that person was Scottie. But they were thinking that it might have been... A lot of the house was thinking it might be Haley. And it wasn't. And so, very quickly, actually, I think... did Bailey figure it out? I'm not sure if Bailey figured it out or Rockstar figured it out. But one of them figured out that, you know what? I think it was Scottie that did it. And I think it may have been... It may have been... Rockstar that figured this out, but she certainly was the one walking around telling certain people that that's what she thought happened. And then Haley's like, I swear it wasn't me. And she's like, you know what? I think you're right. I think it was Scottie, and I think he did it to put the blame on me, to make me out to be the bad person. Now, the funny thing is I don't think Scottie was necessarily trying to put the blame on anybody. He kind of may have been, but he he actually seems, and I'm jumping all over the place down here because it was like 2 hours before we really got any idea what was going on in Scottie's mind. Scottie seems to, later on he talked with Tyler, believe it or not. That was the first person he actually had a somewhat of a conversation with, and he commented that the power is too much. He told Tyler who he voted for, how he told Tyler the truth, and he implied that the balance is, the house isn't balanced, and we're going to balance it out this week, kind of a thing. Like, we're going to even it out. And I'm like going, wait, I really thought Scottie was going to be right in Tyler's pocket. And I said, I've been saying it, Rockstar was going to be the next one to go, probably. And I expected as soon as Tyler won, or as soon as Scottie won, I thought, Tyler's going to tell him what to do, and it's going to be Rockstar that goes. And amazingly, I very well could be wrong. Because Scottie seems, as of when they all went to bed, Scottie seems fairly set in wanting to target the other side of the house, which is actually what I wanted to happen. So I'm actually hopeful right now. When it came down to Rachel and Scottie, I was in the head of household comp. I was like, doesn't matter. It's going to be, one of Angie's probably toast. Angie / Rockstar is probably toast. Not the case. So Scottie told Tyler that he's going to go with this whole angle of he's getting revenge for Steve being voted out. Now remember, Steve was the shock to them, and Caitlin's the one who did it. I don't think Scottie knows that Caitlin is the one who threw the vote. I think he thinks it's Winston that threw the vote to evict Steve. So, but Scottie has said, I'm using getting revenge for Steve as my excuse for my nominations this week. And he told Tyler this, so Tyler's aware of this, and so of course Tyler knows who did the vote. Tyler also wants to protect the bros. I thought, and this may still be the case, I thought he'd be willing to see Rachel or Angela go up instead of one of the bros. But I watched Tyler play this. This is a whole... I could talk for the next 20 minutes about Tyler's game. Although, when I went to bed last night, I thought Tyler was rolling hard. There may be some cracks in the game as of this morning, because I missed I missed the first in-depth conversation with Scottie and Tyler. I saw the quickie where Scottie said, I'm going to do this, and I'm the one who voted for Swaggy, and I thought, okay, yep, and he's telling Tyler all this stuff, and I thought, yeah, he's really in tight with Tyler. I just think Tyler's going to be able to get him to do what he wants. But later on, it doesn't look like it went quite that way. So Tyler so I've got to make this short because I don't have as much time as I would like. And by the way, I'm totally skipping the Fessy, Caitlin, Haley stuff that went on last night, which is a whole nother line of drama. I'm skipping the Rockstar figuring this stuff out and being a little bit too casual with who she was telling people. I'm skipping Bailey telling Rockstar about an alliance, Rockstar telling Caitlin, and Caitlin telling Tyler. The whole game right there was like, oh my God, these people, they don't know who to trust and who to tell things, or they do. Anyways, that was a video clip that I retweeted towards the end of the night when I was up last night. There's just so much that went on in that early bit. But the whole gist of this is as of right now, it seems that Scottie wants to target the bros, and he has no intention, as of last night, and of going after, I think, Bailey, Rockstar, Fessy, and Haley. I think he said those four, like the four in the back bedroom kind of a thing. Like that seems to be, he seems to be wanting to keep them safe. I don't know where Caitlin falls into that. I'm not sure I don't think JC falls under that. But it seems like he wants to go after the bros and has no intention of putting up any of those people, who are all people I thought were, Angie was the top of my list, thought had a chance to go. So, that's where things stand. As of last night, Tyler, or Scottie told this to Tyler. Now, Tyler had a conversation with JC. He had several conversations. Tyler's the only one who had several to me, several very secretive and very seemed to be casual, so people wouldn't suspect, one-on-one conversations with people. He had one-on-one conversations with Casey. He had one-on-one with JC, with Scottie, with Caitlin, with Fessy maybe even. And they were all, almost every one of those conversations, the feeling you got was the other people talking to Tyler felt like, this is my super secret alliance. This is my in the pocket alliance that nobody else knows about, and this is the one that I'm gonna, could run to the end with. And Tyler's got one of those with almost every house guest kind of thing. Not every, there's a lot more, but several in different parts of the house. Matter of fact, when Scottie was talking to Tyler, he said, you're kind of on one side of the house, I'm kind of on the other. Nobody's going to suspect this kind of a thing. That was one of the things that was kind of dropped in the conversations, and I'm thinking like, oh, Scottie, Tyler wants to get you to do what he wants to do, not what you want to do. And so Tyler, in his conversation with JC, was talking about how are we going to get Scottie to do what we want, because they're in a secret alliance too, of course. And Tyler said to JC, okay, this is what we've got to do. He basically said, I want to push Angie. I want to put the blame on Angie. I want to make Angie the one. I want Scottie to think that Angie's the one who voted out Steve last week. And so that way Scottie will want to get her out. Okay? Now, he said this to JC. He says, and we can both push for Angie to get nominated. But he also said, but we don't need to say that to him first. We need to figure out who he wants to nominate first. And this is paramount to anybody that wants to have a chance to win Big Brother. You got to remember this. If you're trying to control somebody else, don't let them think you're trying to control them. Let them think it is their idea. Let them try to plant the seeds, work on it. Just try to get it to work so that they're the ones that think they're making these decisions, if at all possible. Because that's the easiest way, because then they become committed to it and locked in on it, and you don't have to worry about them as much when you're not around, kind of a thing. And that's what Derek did classically in one case with Caleb, Beast Mode Cowboy. Speaking of nicknames, but he did get that name in the house. He did that a lot of times with people. You talk to him and get him to change. You watch. He had a conversation with Caleb where Caleb changed his mind in 20 minutes from one person to another person, just based on little pushes and nudges that Derek gave him. Okay, so that's what I think Tyler wants to try to do with Scottie. The problem is that Scottie has said, no, these are my targets. I am not. He said to, I think it was Fessy, I'm not pussying around. There's not going to be any backdoor stuff. I'm going straight at the people that I think need to go out. And in this case, he basically said it's the bro. He thinks he wants to put the bros up. We'll see. Again, this is this morning. We have until late today, and we don't know when nominations will be. By the way, let me insert my conspiracy mindset of, I think producers want to help, and I'm not totally upset on this, but let's go with the conspiracy that production really likes Tyler as they hype who's going to go up, and they want to see him do well, and they're painting him as the genius manipulator of Big Brother. Well, in that case, and Tyler wants to get Angie out. Maybe they'll delay nominations as late as possible today to give Tyler every opportunity to change Scottie's mind. I mean, that would be the paranoid me talking, and we'll see what time nominations actually happen and how they go. But if Tyler manages to flip Scottie's mindset and to have him even put Angie anywhere on the radar, then Tyler's doing a masterful job, because I'm just saying. I think Tyler is doing a masterful job, and I think Tyler is. I made comparisons last night to Derek, and I don't like to do it this early, but And I hope I'm completely wrong, because I do not want a domination. People complained about Derek's season. I was bragging about Derek's game and all this the whole time, and I would get yelled at by people like, Derek's making it boring. Derek, no drama, blah, blah, blah. Derek keeps things, and Derek just guides everybody, gets them to do what they want to do. Now, some would say that there's been more drama, but we're only 2 weeks in, and there hasn't been. Swaggy didn't make any drama. And I'm not saying that's because of Tyler. I'm just saying it didn't really happen. So there hasn't been a lot of drama. There's been no yelling and fighting and drag down. I don't know why. I mean, compared to last year, there was so much drama last year. It's not, I wouldn't want that kind of drama necessarily. And it's been interesting. But whole point is, and as I'm trying to wrap this up, is that I'm interested so far in Scottie's head of household more than I thought I was going to be, and I'm kind of excited on the fact that he may go after the bros, just because of the drama that will create. And the back and forth and all that. So that's all right. I can deal with that. And I do want the house even too. Scottie has a very good point. The house needs to be more even. Otherwise, it's going to be a rout of the first 3 quarters of a season, and then the ones at the end pick each other off. But the back and forth is what really kind of gets people excited and gets the juices flowing. I don't know. I'm very hopeful that this is how Scottie runs things, and that Tyler can't influence him, but I will enjoy watching Tyler try to influence him. And I'm all for Tyler overextending himself and making people's eyebrows go up. That'd be good. I don't want to give him the kind of credit I've been starting to give him. Trust me. I would rather not have that kind of dominating person, and I could be completely wrong. And I could be, and that's what some people are saying. So, all right. We have nominations today. And again, right as of right now, Scottie's talking about going after the bros. Tyler did try to talk to him last night and tried to guide him towards Angie a little bit. I have not seen that conversation yet. I'm only going on based on what I checked out online this morning before I started doing this. So I will try to catch that, to try to figure it, but there might not be any point in going back to see that conversation, as much as depending on if it happens again today. But I'll try to get a feel for how adamant is Scottie and how malleable is he to Tyler's wants. He's the one person in there I think that could change his mind on who he wants to go up, unless he gets ganged up by a bunch of people. But things are looking interesting. Better than I thought they were when I went to bed. So, that's what's up. It's okay, I got that done. But again, I didn't talk about Caitlyn. There was some classic Caitlyn, Haley, Fessy stuff. And it was the same. There was the people talking. I mean, within 10 minutes, and I have a couple seconds here, so I'm going to go back to this. So Haley told Fessy, I can't remember exactly what it was. God, I can't remember what it was. Was trying to figure out things about the vote. And Haley told Fessy, God, I got to go back and watch it. Something. Fessy grabbed Caitlyn and hauled her into the have-not room and asked her a question, and she answered it. And as soon as she answered, did you know how the votes were going to go or something? And she answered it. And he kind of stood up and stomped out. Now, I think it confirmed whatever. Oh, God, I feel stupid. And some of you know this, and I just can't. My brain is fried right now. The point is that Fessy confronted Caitlyn with something that Haley had told him, but he didn't say Haley told me this. And Caitlyn confirmed what Haley had said in a way. And it basically confirmed that Caitlyn had lied to Fessy. So Fessy kind of freaked out a little bit, kind of got up and stomped out of the room. And I was like, oh, yeah. And she was like, why are you walking away? Why are you walking away? I was like, oh, yes. Fessy's pissed off, and this is going to be a fight. And then Caitlyn almost immediately went up to Haley and said, something's wrong with Fessy, blah, 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 blah. And Caitlyn realized that Fessy had pretty much ran with the information that Haley had given him right to Caitlyn. And she was pissed off at Fessy. He's like, you can't do that. You can't do the information I give you and go right to Caitlyn. Don't you realize she lied to you, kind of thing? And so she was majorly pissed off at Caitlyn. And so she's ripping into Fessy, and Caitlyn walks into the room, and drama there, and the back and forth, and the uncomfortableness. There was a point where Caitlin is trying to talk to Fessy, and Fessy is trying to talk to Caitlin, and both of them won't say the other what they're talking about, and it's just really uncomfortable. And it's like, well, what do you mean by what do you mean? What do you mean by what do you mean? I don't know. What do you mean? And it was all about, I'm not going to answer your question. You're not going to answer my question, but we want each other to answer the question. It was in one case it was fun to watch, in the other case it was like, oh my God, people. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing that we probably won't even talk about or see or anything on our podcast, because just don't have time. And it in the end, it won't make much difference. But it was interesting to watch at the time, and it was riveting to watch at the time. So that is what, yeah. And again, I don't even know if we'll talk about it, but it happened. And if you don't have the live feeds or you don't check them out, then it's gone. Well, it's not gone. You can watch it on Flashback. All right. I'm done. I am now sitting in my car in a parking garage, and I need to go to work. So I don't know if I'll do one of these CarCasts tomorrow. I generally don't, or usually normal seasons I have it during the weekend, but for some reason this season I felt more compelled to, at least early on. Later on I probably won't, but I may do one of these tomorrow morning. We'll have to see. But we do have our podcast tomorrow night live at 9 p.m. Where Scott, Colette, and I will talk to you about all these things. Now, time for the business at the end of the podcast, because I'm guessing there's a couple of you that may have never heard this before, and part of you, and some of you are looking at your devices or just staring like, who the hell is this guy? And why the hell am I listening to him? So thank you for listening, first of all. And, as I don't know if I said Mike. My name's Mike, and myself and Scott and Colette are three people that do a podcast every Saturday. But this is my one-man podcast where I talk to myself as I drive to work in the morning usually, and fill you guys in on what's gone on the night before or what might be going on, that kind of stuff. And I've recently expanded my places that this show's up. It normally just used to go only on Spreaker, Spreaker, and I would post a link to it, would show up on Twitter. My Twitter account is BBGOSSIP. And over the past couple of weeks, I have started to put this out on a bunch of other platforms, and by that I mean just different places where you can get through it via podcast. So now it's on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify as of yesterday. It's at a lot of different places. Majority of the people that are going to catch it in those places are already listening to it, and it's just easier now for them to get it. But for some of you, you may be discovering it for the first time. So welcome. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, again, you can follow it BBGOSSIP. Have a website too. We have BigBrotherGossip.com. I also have BigBrotherPodcast.com. BigBrotherPodcast.com is basically just a link, a landing page where you can find links to our podcast. You can find links to my Twitter account, Scott's Twitter account, Colette's Twitter account, and you can find links to direct downloads of episodes of our show. We are getting ready to do our 4th show of the season tomorrow. So if you, for some reason, are just catching us for the first time and you want to do something today, you can always listen to last Saturday's podcast, 2.5 hours of us talking about things. Even though at this point Swaggy's gone, we have a good discussion. We play audio clips from the feeds, tell you what's going on. That's what we'll do tomorrow night too. I don't know if, by the way, for those of you that are still listening, they're long-time people, I don't know if we'll have a new theme tomorrow night. I'm not sure. We haven't had, I know that based on the clips that Scott and I have been getting, we don't have a ton yet. And part of that's because these house guys have been whispering so much. In other parties, there hasn't been any big, drawn-out arguments, which tend to be a good place to get clips because generally there aren't other people talking in the background. They aren't whispering, and they're loud and clear. And those are the fun ones to get clips of. And this house has been quiet, not very argumentative, and super whispery. So I'm not sure if we're going to have a new opening tomorrow or not. We'll have to see. You'll have to tune in to find out. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day, and thanks for checking it out. Oh, you know what? One last plug. If you have any interest to become a patron to support us, go to patreon.com, patreon.com, and look for Big Brother Gossip Show, and you can support our podcast, which is free, but people that support it are our favorites. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.